Welcome to the Bronx. I know, not what you expected, right? Looks like the suburbs. That's because it kinda is. Even though this is technically a part of New York City, we're worlds away. This is City Island. It's a 1.5-mile island off the coast of the Bronx proper, and even though it's technically a part of New York City, it's remained basically untouched as the rest of the city has exploded around it. Today we're here to meet up with Michael Proietti. He's a born and raised City Islander and a professional chef. He's gonna show us one of his favorite seafood spots where we're gonna chow down and talk about the island's deep maritime traditions.
So right now we're at the Mars Yacht and Beach Club.
And this is right at the southern tip of the island.
This is the end, yeah. So we call it the end. Born and raised, my parents lived here forever. You know, I moved away from home. It was 3 blocks. You know, I'm a youngest Italian boy. I'm supposed to live at home for the rest of my life. And I just never left City Island because it's just a great spot.
A lot of people in New York don't even know that City Island exists.
Yeah, well, I try not to tell them too much because we don't want them, well, everyone to come here, right? Like, so. Kind of has a New England vibe. You have all the seafood restaurants, you have like the salty dogs working on the boat. It's kind of perfect. It's like being on vacation every day. We call ourselves clam diggers. If you're born on City Island, you're a clam digger.
Okay.
If you move to City Island, you're a mussel-sucker.
So I haven't even moved here. What am I?
You're just some schmo. You're some guy who wants to eat shrimp.
Cool, let's go do that.
I'm down.
Really feels like a small town here, which is totally unfamiliar because it's like technically in New York City.
Well, it is a small town. It's 1.5 miles long. Everybody knows each other. You can't throw a brick without somebody calling you mother. You know what I mean? When you're a kid, you can't do something without calling your mom.
How many bricks did you throw?
A couple.
You're a successful chef, but like you also spend your time in what amounts to like a small like seaside town.
You know, growing up in City Island, hanging out at the beach, we used to like get the mussels off the beach, the clams, used to go home and make like these huge feasts. And I think that's really where my love of food kind of started.
What is this? What do we got?
So you got lobster, right? You got your mussels and your clams, calamari, you got some scallops. Underneath all this buttery, garlicky, oregano-y kind of stuff is pasta.
You grab yourself a tail there, man.
No, it's a
whole thing?
It's a whole half a lobster, or a whole lobster. Here, look, I'll lobster you first.
Lobster me.
How good is that lobster?
It's delicious.
Come on.
This is so good.
And you know what? It's not chewy. They're really fresh lobsters. You can taste it in the lobster, right? It has like almost like a sweetness to it.
I assume there's a lot of fresh seafood that moves in and out of City Island. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of the bread and butter of the community.
A very special drink. Can you tell us what exactly you ordered, man?
It's a Henny Colada.
It's a Henny Colada.
Right here in the Bronx. Hennessy is where it's at. And City Island, you're on vacation. This is your mini daycation, right? So pina colada, Hennessy, it seems kind of works together. A marriage made on City Island.
So it's sort of like this like intersection of a bunch of different cultures because you have like this sort of New Englandy seafaring vibe, and then right across the bridge you have like the Bronx, the proper Bronx.
And really what a lot of these menus do is they just embrace the kind of seafood culture. So they'll do it like blackened or Cajun style or Italian style, or they'll put like a Spanish seasoning, like an adobo on it. So it really does kind of bring all of the Bronx together. And I think that that's what's perfect about City Island.
You've cooked in a lot of different places. Like, what's the difference? Like, a different vibe?
You know, there's definitely a different vibe on City Island, right? You can't yell at everybody like you could do when we work at a man. So really, it's more of a sense of community here, so you gotta be a little bit nicer. People are always welcoming other people here, because it really is. It's about like family and having a good time. Sometimes you don't know who your family is yet.
So we had our seafood feast, we said goodbye to Michael, but no trip to City Island would be complete without having a local drink where the locals drink. The Snug. Let's go do it.
Kind of grew up in this place. The Snug is like my family's business. We actually got the building about 20 years ago, and that's when we opened up the diner. So growing up here, it's I was very lucky to have that kind of like very present community feel.
We're drinking Dark and Stormies and make them kind of strong here at the Snug. This one's got a kick to it.
They drink it like crazy. So one of the big like nautical things around here is the sailors have Wednesday night races. So Wednesday nights will be packed in here, and they all come up and we'll just like immediately run out of Goslings.
Really?
Like immediately run out of Goslings. Ginger beer will not be in supply. I mean, we are an island, and it's a local bar, so we're not quite as sophisticated as Manhattan yet, so it's very much, you know, like a Bud Light Jameson kind of place. I think one special thing about City Island is that it is very much a part of New York, right? So besides the street signs, like a lot of the people that live here are from New York, born and raised in the Bronx, work in the Bronx, work in the city, a lot of middle-class city workers and stuff. So you get that very pronounced identity. Food and drink establishments on City Island, they really keep the place going. It's what's, it keeps people here. Local places like the Snug, like the diner, like the Lobster House, that really give the community a place to speak, and a place to interact with each other.
It's welcoming in a way that many other places are not. So I totally get why people come here and stay here.
When we get new people on the weekends, on Saturdays and Sundays, we love welcoming them and saying, thank you so much for coming to our community. It's been, very nice meeting you, and here's dark and stormy, man. Here's the dark and stormy, man,
Cheers, dude.
Cheers, brother.
Thanks for having us.
You got it.
Hey, did you enjoy the episode of Food Groups you just watched here on City Island? I hope you did. If you did, please subscribe to Thrillist YouTube channel. Watch this video right here from the Rockaways. You're gonna love it. And then like and comment below. Tell us where you want to see us go next. New episodes every Monday morning at 7. We will see you then.